There'd be times that you just, I don't know, you just be sitting eating dinner, and for some reason you start thinking about the first kid that you saw that was dead.
So one dog that we worked with from a cruelty case that was found in his run with a pipe, and we don't always know exactly what happened, but there was enough evidence for us to suspect that the pipe had been used to discipline the dog or, hit the dog in some manner.
It wasn't that I was seeing things, it was more just not, I guess not being in control.
When you evaluate the dogs, you look for them to be scared or defensive. You look for that range of reactions to stress.
I didn't like it when people walked up behind me.
We almost exist and operate constantly like we just looked up and saw brake lights.
Some of that anxiety can manifest in self-destructive behaviors, just licking, scratching, digging on the dog until there's sores.
Panic attacks I used to drink a lot. I just felt really low a lot.
You can't possibly function when you're that anxious or you're that stressed out.
It's the mentality. It's what your muscle memory has been, so like the instinct.
The brain has undergone trauma most likely during their time as a soldier. The brain then goes into this heightened state and it tends to stay there. It is stuck within that heightened arousal. Coming back to the States and trying to live life in an everyday manner, your brain just doesn't automatically unclick. So they're trying to go through day-to-day life in a hyper-aroused state, where anything in the environment could potentially trigger those symptoms to escalate.
Anytime any abuse, or person to person, person to dog, it's a betrayal. It's a betrayal of trust. And sometimes those dogs that we've really betrayed, that really deserve that second chance the most, are the hardest to deliver for. We have that history of surviving together, of working against the odds to be these highly successful species that we find all over the world. And now we experience that, we hunt together, we fight together, die together, fun together, play together. We do all these things together. And now it's time to bring it into the same roof and heal together.
At the center and with our model, we're really kind of doing this parallel and converging paths where people and dogs are doing the work to heal together. The dogs are creating this safe therapeutic environment of non-judgment, of acceptance, and people are learning not only their own effective coping skills and how to decrease their anxiety and challenge that and work with that, but they're watching dogs change in that process and heal together.
I think the change for me was recognizing that there was something else there was something else possible. Just most of us aren't exposed to the world of a working relationship with a dog where we can get a little bit closer to how we started.
So when an individual maybe has a dog sitting next to them and they're starting to get aroused in a heightened sense, they're noticing their heart racing, they're sweating, they're having difficulty breathing, they're getting tunnel vision, they can physically touch that dog. Simply by petting that dog, it releases chemicals which then can help calm their nervous system down. As they can begin to calm themselves down, their brain opens up for taking in the new information. That hippocampus can start to read the environment in an effective manner. They can calm down enough to listen and take in new information, like a new coping skill, talking through the trauma, maybe not even reliving the trauma with such heightenedness, but decreasing it every single time, simply by having the ability to pet that animal and changing some of the chemicals in their brain.
People and dogs really benefit from that holistic approach to healing, in that we're not just taking pills, we're not just going to therapy, we're not just going to group. We are doing this more of a global approach.
It's that parallel process of being able to see another living creature that has been abused or traumatized. That creature is willing to trust you. They're starting to heal that bond. That dog is learning to trust and grow and change. The person then can see that there is a little bit of hope. I can do this as well. And it starts to build that therapeutic relationship in a different angle than sitting down and doing traditional talk therapy.
To watch the dogs come down that journey and to start to feel a connection with that journey myself, and some of the similar steps that we had to take, and to really start to feel how special it was to go through that together. I noticed the depth of a relationship that I didn't know was there before, and then feeling the parallel paths that we were walking. You know, if I'm trying to work on some anxiety and some things that I have, and I'm working on some fear and anxiety in this dog, and I saw us taking steps together, and I saw us responding to the same, you know, responding to exercise the same way, responding to quality time together the same way, responding to behavior modification the same way. I started to think of time, one-on-one time training the dog as some of the one-on-one time I was spending, you know, with a counselor.
When you're dealing with PTSD, there's often a crushing loss of sense of self for the person. They lose their self-worth. Everything just kind of shifts on how they think about themselves. So to be able to take a dog that has been abused or traumatized and start to work with that dog in a very kind of structured, guided way to watch that dog heal gives a sense of ownership back to the person. They start to feel worth in themselves that they may have lost. Trauma work is tough. People don't want to relive trauma. They don't want to go back and talk about it or deal with it because it's scary, it's frightening, it's horrific, it's unknown.
You know, I kind of almost feel sad, like, it almost sounds elitist, but I feel sad for civilians in some ways because they say they have these friendships and these bonds. You know, I feel like a lot of people just don't really know what a bond like that is even like.
The bond between the dog and its owner it just reminds me of being in the Army, me and one of my buddies, somebody that I've only known for a few months, but no matter what, I know he's gonna lay his life down on the line for me, and I'll gladly do the same for him. I didn't expect that kind of bond, to feel that again, without actually being back in the military.
The human spirit's incredible. The desire to change and get better and grow through that. And people find amazing ways to do that. And again, I can't tell you time and time again, I've heard, it's my dog, my dog, my dog.